So the subject of this video is how to exercise if you can't exercise. Now, exercise to me is really the foundation and the crux and the fulcrum of basically your lifestyle, your vitality, your mental and emotional well-being. Because if energy doesn't move, basically it tends to stagnate. Like if you look at, running water versus a pool of water, like in a ditch somewhere. The pool of water in a ditch is very stagnant. It's not moving. So what tends to happen is, there moss and algae and mosquitoes start to grow out of it. Whereas you look at like a crisp flowing, creek or river in the woods, the water's clear and, well, ideally it's clear. Some places, obviously the water isn't so clean, but you get the metaphor. The water's flowing and it's not stagnating and there's life and it's clean. There's not mosquitoes growing in it. There's not junk in it. Likewise, we're this, like a big river system basically, with our meridians, with our lymphatic system, with our circulatory system, with all the other fluids in the body and with all the different systems in the body. They need movement, especially the lymphatic system, because it doesn't have a pump, it doesn't have a heart, it doesn't have something to circulate it. So it needs us to get up and move around and stimulate it to move and pump. Otherwise, the lymphatic system just gets stagnated and full of crap. Because this lymphatic system is basically like our garbage removal system, and it needs stimulation, it needs movement, it needs deep breathing, it needs heat to get it going. And that's another benefit of exercise as well, is that it warms the body. It gets the circulation going all throughout the body, all into the joints, into the ankles, into the Achilles, into these really, into like the nooks and crannies of the body. The blood gets flowing, the lymphatic can clear out, and the stale blood can clear out, and the new oxygenated fresh blood can come in. So there's dogs barking right now, but so basically without the movement, everything gets kind of stale and stagnated. Cerebrospinal fluid, the synovial fluid in the joints doesn't move. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a hinge on a door. It just, the lubrication goes away and it gets squeaky and it's hard to open, it creaks. That's what happens in the joints in the body if you don't move them. That's what happens to your spine and all the vertebrae if they're not moved and twisted and, kept lubricated and taken through their range of motion on a regular basis. Now by exercise I don't mean you gotta, join the gym and start pumping iron or run 5 miles every day. Honestly, I think that's a little extreme because, if you had like a really nice sports car, and maybe you know someone that does, but do they take it out every day and just take to the max and, rev it up to 8,000 RPM every single day? No, they wouldn't do that because obviously it'll just wear the car down and shorten the lifespan of the car, which is very similar to our body. If we take ourselves, just really push and push and push ourselves every single day over the long term, it's just going to beat ourselves down, which is why it's very common for long distance runners, marathoners, things like that, to just drop dead around 40 to 50. They'll be out on a run and they'll look healthy, kind of, they'll be thin and lean and they'll exercise a lot, which is what most people consider to be healthy, but they'll just drop dead immediately. And I've known probably 3 to 5 people, just because I used to be in that scene. I used to run cross country in my teenage years, so I knew a lot of people, and there were, lots of people that I knew that they've been running for 30 years, 40 years, and then all of a sudden, without any warning, without anything, they're just out on the trail, and boom, they're done, they checked out. Or they're getting ready to go for a run, they're in their car, and then they're dead, and someone finds them. Happens. So by exercise, I don't mean the standard traditional American way of exercising, because obviously if you're in a situation to where, you can't exercise, whether you're kind of overweight or you have injuries or for whatever reason you can't exercise, obviously you wouldn't want to do that anyway. So what am I recommending? Well, the first thing that comes to mind would be obviously deep diaphragmatic breathing, just learning how to breathe properly, because the diaphragm and just the lungs can pump the lymphatic system, it can pump the circulation and get oxygenation and movement going in your body without you having to move vigorously. So that's one thing you can learn to do, and you can do that anywhere, anytime, for free, and it only takes, a couple seconds, a couple minutes, whatever, and you feel so much better. Your thoughts get clear, your body gets oxygenated, your lymphatic system gets some movement, your internal organs get massaged, your abdominal muscles get toned, peristalsis in your intestines gets stimulated, digestion gets improved. It's just something that you can easily do, and to get started, you just can put your hands on your belly, on your diaphragm, and just focus on pushing that up and down as you inhale and exhale fully. And you can Google around. There's tons of books, tons of articles and websites that tell you how to breathe, but I won't do it in this video. So that's one thing you can do. If you're laying in bed, if you're in a hospital bed somewhere, if you're in an injury situation where you can't really do anything and you're kind of just docile and have to sit around, you can still breathe. You can still sit there and calm yourself and stimulate your body to be more calm and relax and rest and digest, and stimulate your circulation and the movement in your body just through breathing. And it's free and it's quick and it's easy. So if you're able to be mobile and move around and do things, but you can't really do any jarring movement, there's Qigong is a great exercise that you can learn. Specifically, there's the 8 brocades that if you just Google it or look on YouTube for 8 brocades, so the word 8 and then brocade, B-R-O-C-A-D-E, brocade. It's like the foundational Qigong exercises. They're really easy. You can probably just watch it and do it along with it. The movements are really simple, but the movements are slow and fluid, and they're not jarring to the body. And in conjunction with the deep breathing, you can really get good movement. And I even do it sometimes too, just because, just after a couple minutes of it, I feel my arms getting warm, my legs getting warm, my body starts to get warm because the blood's moving, the circulation's moving, but I'm not like stressing my body. I'm exercising, moving, and, toning muscles and moving my joints and things like that, but I'm not tearing my body down to do so. So for someone who's in a situation where they really can't exercise, I think the 8 brocades would be a really good place to start. Granted, if you can stand up, you could probably do it sitting down. There are seated versions as well, but that's probably what I would go for, because you need the exercise, you need that movement, and you can eat the greatest food in the world, but if you dump it in and your digestive fire is weak and your peristalsis is weak and your spleen is depressed, and your liver's depressed, and your blood's not moving, you're not getting good circulation, obviously your absorption and utilization of those nutrients is going to be massively diminished. So you need exercise, you need movement to really facilitate that process. And then if you're thinking good thoughts, or using affirmation or visualization, sure, you're putting energy out, but if the energy is stagnated in your body, you're just going to be holding on to old patterns, holding on to old energies and thoughts, and that's going to hinder your forward progress as well. So you really need movement. You need just to clear things out and move things around and get your body in a new feeling space, and also get yourself actually feeling your body, because if you don't use your body, obviously what tends to happen is all your energy will just pool up here in your head, and you'll just feel like you're this floating head walking around the world, when in reality you're this whole body system. But unless you're moving your body and using the muscles and activating those neural pathways and activating the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons, that's your consciousness is going to be hindered, but also you're going to be out of touch with your body. So if there are imbalances, you're not even going to notice, but then also you're not going to feel grounded, you're not going to feel present, you're not going to feel in the moment, because you're not even aware of your feet touching the ground. Just like right now, you're probably watching this and you're not aware of your left toe or your right toe or your feet on the ground. Probably weren't aware of that, because all of your attention energy is directed right up here, and that's eventually going to cause headache, neck tension, shoulder tension, chest tension, poor circulation, headaches, stress, things like that. So yeah, so that's what I would do if I was in a situation and I needed to exercise but I couldn't. So I would practice deep diaphragmatic breathing, and then I would practice the 8 brocades, which you can find both of those on YouTube or Google. I'm sure it's easy to find. They're both quick and easy and free, and can get your body moving in a gentle and non-jarring, non-offensive way, and you really get you some good forward progress, some good momentum, some good inertia in the right direction, and also just take whatever level of health you're at and just take it to the next level. So that's kind of why I think exercise is important, why I exercise every day, why I don't feel as good if I don't, and what exercises I think someone should do if they really can't exercise. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below. If you haven't already subscribed, definitely do so, and I'll talk to you soon.